story starts with a travel folder in the hands of Harry Thompson in Chicago. He was reading about Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where the airways and the highways meet the ocean. A year-round, firmly established city, boasting of urban business establishments and stores and its permanent population. Its modern and complete educational system, and its spiritual life, represented by its fine churches of many denominations. But Harry's interest really perked up as he turned the page. To a city-bound, outdoors man, here was just what the doctor ordered, and very pleasant medicine to take. Riding the tumbling waves to shore, skimming along in a shiny speedboat, or hitching on behind. Deep-sea fishing was the clincher. So during the first week in April, Harry and Barbara, with two newlywed couples, left Chicago, connected with Piedmont Airlines at Cincinnati, and whiled away an enjoyable trip through the clouds, planning every day and every hour of their week's vacation. Myrtle Beach bears the distinction of being the only city actually built on the ocean front between Maine and Florida, thereby offering waterfront and inland advertisements all in the same place. As we tag along with Ray, Ted, and Harry on their memorable week, we'll get to know them better. Or would you prefer a personal introduction to Barbara, Caroline, and Doris? Anyway, they're three swell couples, and an extra honeymoon now and then is highly recommended, especially a honeymoon under that South Carolina moon. Spurred by the alluring tang of the salt air, they're on their way. As Harry was the engineer of the expedition, the bunch went along with his preference for the wide open spaces. And those wide open spaces were beautifully carpeted with grassy green lawns at the El Rancho. A favored stopping place the year round, the El Rancho, with its Western-style buildings, is just one of the limitless number of hotels, inns, and motels catering to the vacationer at Myrtle Beach. But if we expect to squeeze all the planned activities into one short week, we'd better get settled and do some unpacking. Adjoining accommodations were just what they had hoped for. So, with this detail realized, they felt that they had gotten off to a good start. As Caroline said, it's nice to be within calling distance. They all considered the waving palms a real novelty. More plans over a cool, relaxing drink. Shortly after old Sal arose from the rim of the ocean next morning, our friends arrived at the Ocean Plaza Fishing Pier, one of the 4 fine Myrtle Beach piers extending into the broad Atlantic. They aren't a bit fussy which of the 45 varieties of fish found in these waters nibbles at their bait. As early birds, they have plenty of competition. If there were any bets made, Doris would be the winner. Small, but lively. The followers of Isaac Walton are still arriving. Barbara made a new friend. No, not the man, his daughter, a dyed-in-the-wool enthusiast. Really men, honey. Although they had read of the beautiful new $1 million pavilion, our vacationers were hardly prepared for the impressive panorama it presented as they saw it for the first time that afternoon. Colorful beach umbrellas dotting the broad expanse of white sand between the buildings and the rolling surf. On a beautiful day such as this, nature's attraction was sure to win out. Come on, gang, let's get wet. Last one in's a sissy. afternoon was much too short. The lure of Neptune carried over into a night bathed in soft moonlight. Of course, moonlight has its romantic aspect, but after a couple of hours in the surf, the inner man, and the inner girl too for that matter, demands nourishment. And nothing, absolutely nothing, tastes better than a hot dog roasted over a beach fire. That's one delicacy a bride can cook to perfection. The following morning found the group at Brook Green Gardens, a veritable fairyland. Through a natural arch of giant water oaks festooned with Spanish moss, we come upon the largest outdoor collection of American statuary in the world. A plantation definitely woven into the pattern of American history, Brook Green leaves an indelible impression in the minds of all who view it. Ted's game is golf. So that afternoon, his vote was recognized by visiting the Dunes Golf and Beach Club. Non-players go along to enjoy the scenic beauty of the greens and fairways located within a stone's throw of the beach. Harry's starting to swing already. With a picturesque ocean background, Caroline receives instruction from pro Jimmy D'Angelo. Jimmy even shows how it should be done and places a hard drive right down the middle. Ted wasn't exactly discouraged, but he did make a resolution to get in a little more practice time. The Dunes is one of the two fine 18-hole courses at Myrtle Beach and among the top 10 in the country. That night, in celebration of the successful vacation, Ray suggested dining and dancing. The Yacht Club was chosen for its fine food and entertainment, and the girls welcomed the opportunity to make use of the party dresses they had so carefully packed. The boys offered slight resistance to the boiled shirts, but it was all in fun. Perhaps it's Ray's charm that accounts for this serenade by the lovely accordionist. Headliners of the club circuit furnish hilarious entertainment. Thick, tender steaks, tastefully served, rounded out an evening at the Yacht Club that was voted an unqualified success. With much more to see and do, our visitors have scheduled a call at Briarcliff Yacht Basin on the inland waterway. This little fellow covers a lot of territory fast. A newfound acquaintance, Louise Miles, demonstrates the art of water skiing. The picturesque twosome consists of Louise and George Akers, permanent resident of Myrtle Beach. Doris, the only member of our party to master the art, shows her skill. Everything was just fine until the expert took over. After witnessing a few well-executed maneuvers and a jump or two, they all decided they'd need a lot more than a week to get the hang of it. Briarcliff Yacht Basin is the stopping off and refueling point for traffic on the inland waterway and serves as an anchorage for visitors to Myrtle Beach. Everybody enjoys an exhilarating ride in a runabout, and our friends are no exception. Hold your hats, we're coming to the bend. This is liable to turn into a race, but it'll be fun. Still plenty of daylight hours left, and so the crowd accepts an invitation for a run through Murrell's Inlet in this snappy cruiser. Tonight, it's dining and dancing at the Ocean Forest Hotel's Marine Patio, mingling with vacationers and travelers from all points of the compass who enjoy the delightful Ocean Forest Hotel, one of the most beautiful in America. The variety continues. With the dawn of another day, or shortly thereafter, we arrive at lovely Pine Lakes Inn. Caroline is the only one of our city dwellers who's on familiar terms with a saddle horse. And so, good sports that they are, they're all here to watch. Caroline's new friends, Louise and Helen, guide her down the pine-scented bridle path, through the woods to the ocean. Ted insisted on them lining up for a snapshot, so smile pretty, girls. What's a vacation without a picnic? The girls arranged this outing, complete with basket lunch. Reaching from the ocean front to Highway 17, Myrtle Beach State Park has a recreation house, outdoor fireplaces, and camping sites. Incidentally, the lunch basket was empty on the way home. There's plenty of fun for young and old at the pavilion. The carousel, or merry-go-round, as you prefer, always has its quota of daring equestrians. Nobody has ever gotten a ticket for speeding on this track, and no collisions reported. The Ferris wheel for tiny tots is well patronized by the small fry. Doris really wanted to ride, but was overruled. The boys spent a little time with the table game, but decided they needed more practice. This spectator didn't care a thing about the game, but she was deeply interested in that candy apple. Piccolos and jitterbugs always go hand in hand. At the invitation of Captain Sam Gardner, proprietor of the Ocean Plaza Hotel, our group starts out on a deep-sea fishing trip. The girls claim the choice spot. The Carolina Queen heads for Little River Inlet. The crowd has a fraternal wave for all passing craft. Many of these boats operate daily for the hordes of deep-sea fishermen attracted the year-round to Myrtle Beach. The appearance of the breakers ahead means that we'll soon be through the inlet and into the open sea. About 10 miles offshore, the lines are lowered and the serious fishing begins. The effect of the exhilarating salt air is counteracted by a plentiful supply of sandwiches and cold bottled drinks. Another day and another diversion. The fine courts of the Ocean Forest Hotel furnish a colorful setting for a morning of tennis. Doris is in good form. Tennis, that is. But Ray is the real expert at this game. What better way to cool off than a session of surf fishing? Caroline can't understand why that big, heavy sinker doesn't go out further in the water. In fact, she's just a little put out about it. Doris encourages a splashing with a few remarks about Ray's casting ability. Sad but true, the week has slipped by, and our friends pay a last-minute call to vacation acquaintances at the lovely Patricia Hotel. It's 2 hours till plane time, 2 hours that must be utilized. The visit completed, and still a little precious time left. Everybody has a different idea, but they finally decide to do a little putting on the Patricia Hotel practice green. With a parting shot, they head for the airport. The Myrtle Beach pacemaker is just about ready to leave. And so, very reluctantly, our Chicago vacationers board their Piedmont Airlines plane for their northern flight. I don't think we'll get Ted and Harry to put their coats on until they reach home. The decision to drop a line to the Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce to arrange for a longer stay at Myrtle Beach and to again enjoy the balmy climate of South Carolina was unanimous. In parting, just a good old friendly expression from the deep South. Bye, and hurry back.